back. This is BoomerLife on CL 650.
This is BoomerLife on CL 650. Thanks for being with us today. I'm Joanne Sutton, joined in studio with our special guest today. We have Maria Howard, CEO of the Alzheimer's Society of British Columbia. We have Jerry Hinton with us today, experienced geriatric health administrator, who also spoke about providing proper care and assistance for her husband with Alzheimer's disease, who since passed 8 years ago. And Jane Devji is with us. And Jane is from Delta View Manor, that's on Highway 99 and number 10. And she's been helping us with the understanding of residential care for those with Alzheimer's and dementia. That's been our main topic of today. And now we get to say hello to Marg Rogers, who's calling in from Kamloops. Hello, Marg.
Hi, Joanne.
How are you today?
Oh, just absolutely wonderful.
Is the sun shining in Kamloops?
You know, we've had some really warm days, but it's clouded over today for a bit of a break for us.
A bit of a break. Well, it's really wonderful to have you joining us on the show today. Now, Marg is the longest standing volunteer chair of the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's, which was held on the 1st of May. It is the biggest fundraiser for the Society that they do every year, and it's great to recognize the work being done right across the province by all the hard-working volunteers. So, Marg, I understand that you had a 30-year career with Sears Canada, and can we just start off by talking about what initially inspired you to connect with the Society as a volunteer? I don't imagine you had a lot of free time in your hands with a full-time job.
No, not at that time. But, Joanne, I connected with the Society as I retired from Sears in 2004. And, of course, like many, my reason, was a personal story. I have a very dear sister-in-law who'd been diagnosed, and I knew very little or almost nothing about the disease. So to support my family, I felt that I really needed to learn about the disease. And, of course, I've always maintained that knowledge is power, and the more we know, the more we grow. So a volunteer position I felt would give me the opportunity to make a meaningful contribution to the Society. And at that time, they had a need for a volunteer to organize a fundraising walk in Kamloops. And I stopped and said, well, I can do that. And, Joanne, after 12 years, I'm still doing that.
You're exactly the person they were looking for.
Right.
So then the 2016 event wrapped up just a few short weeks ago, but the planning doesn't seem to stop. I guess you're already getting ready for the 2017 Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. What's involved with that? What are you working on right now?
Well, I'll tell you, before we sort of get into the planning for 2017, we spend our time certainly expressing our sincere thanks to participants and volunteers and our sponsors. We're so grateful for their commitment and dedication to the event. And, of course, Joanne, for 2016, that dedication and commitment raised over $780,000 in our province. And we just can't say enough thank yous for that support, because certainly those funds will continue to support our education services and research to find a cure for this disease. So when I look at some of the first steps, and of course in each community, Joanne, we choose an honoree family, and we dedicate the walk to a very special person in that family. So it's building relationships, and that's what we start to do now. We start to look at those in our community that would like to become a face of our walk and to share their story with the community. And, of course, that takes a tremendous amount of courage. So we're very grateful, to those relationships with our honoree families. And then, of course, the committee gets together, and we try to organize a fun-filled family event for all to enjoy, and we just sort of put things together. We've been doing it for so many years. I have coordinators and chair of committees that have been with me for over 10 years.
Yeah, you're obviously operating with a good team.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, the teamwork is key to the operation of the event.
So for Kamloops, for your area, how many people would be on your committee? Like you recruit how many volunteers to operate such an event like the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's?
Exactly. I have probably about 10 to 12 coordinators that work on the planning committee. And then, of course, on the day of the event, we have over 50 volunteers that work that day for us.
And how do you encourage people to come and join your team? I'm sure you get a lot of repeat people coming back, but how do you encourage new members to come out from the community?
Well, in my experience, recruiting volunteers is the best part of my role as the walk chair, because of course that most frequent question is, Marg, what can I do to help? And of course my reply is, oh boy, I have a job for you. And so it becomes sort of matching the position to best serve the volunteer, and that's important. But, Kamloops, of course, has a great reputation for having people come out to help, and I've never had a real problem in recruiting volunteers because they just sort of share a common cause, and they want to give their time and skills and effort to the event.
Well, it sounds like you've really found your calling. Like this just seems to be such a natural position for you, and you've been doing this for 12 years, is it?
Exactly, 12 years. Yes.
Do you have any plans on retiring?
Well, I've thought about it on occasion, but I'll tell you, I always find that I so enjoy building on the success of the previous event, and I just look at it saying there's a continuing need for volunteers and for people to step up and take positions of leadership. And, of course, working with volunteers as a senior is a very different sort of job as well, too, because working with seniors, the time available, they have other things happening in their lives, and sometimes volunteers, I encourage families to volunteer. In fact, I have some positions for children. And so mom and dad can come, and the children can certainly share and have little jobs to do as well.
It's very much a community event. What kind of support do you get from your community in Kamloops, participation-wise? Do you find that they give you the big group hug?
Oh, absolutely. And of course, we focus on it being a fun-filled family event in the morning. And of course, the best thing I enjoy about the walk is that to just watch people visiting and sharing their stories and just sort of taking a break from those everyday routines to come together with a common cause and lots of fun, lots of laughter, and it's a family celebration.
That's wonderful. So, and as a volunteer chair of the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's, how much time do you think you dedicate to the society? Like, are you sitting at a desk at a full-time job 5 days a week, or?
Well, sometimes it can almost come to that, but I am in a very unique position because I also volunteer here at the Resource Center, and I do have a little corner where I do my walk planning from as well, too. So I kind of wear both hats. And, of course, it's given me the opportunity to really see the need in the community because I do take calls and I do work and help with the support group that we have here at our resource center. And it's a wonderful opportunity.
Oh, that's great. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Well, of course, as always, we would like to certainly encourage listeners to step up and join our team of volunteers and participants. We say that 1 in 3 know someone with Alzheimer's disease or a related dementia, and I always ask the question, like, who do you know? And if you do know someone and want to help, then joining us, you can certainly make those memories matter. So we're asking everyone now to save that date of May the 7th, 2017. And, Joanne, I always say it's never too early to start your fundraising campaign because every penny counts. And one of the suggestions we always make is put a jar on the kitchen table and each day put a bit of change in that. And I count down the days to the next event, and it comes to about 370 days. So in that time, boy, I know that we can do it, and certainly we'll feel glad that we did.
I think it's great advice, Mark. Thank you so much. Everybody put a big jar on your kitchen table for the Alzheimer's Society of BC. Mark Rogers from Kamloops, thanks for joining our show today.
Thanks, Joanne. I enjoyed our chat.
That's great. Marg is the longest-standing volunteer chair with the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. So it's a national fundraising event. You've heard it in Kamloops. It's going to be May 7th. 2017. You can mark that. Is that for Vancouver as well? Is that the BC date?
That's the
Maria?
BC date, yes.
The BC date, May 7th, 2017. So don't be shy to volunteer. She needs your help. The Society needs your help as well. We also want to say very special thanks to our other guests today and their contributions on the show. Jerry Hinton from the island, nurse, teacher, administrator, and experience in geriatrics, and a direct connection to Alzheimer's. She had to provide care for her husband, Peter. We say thank you to Jane Devji once again from Delta View Residential Care, who provides support and residence for individuals with Alzheimer's and dementia. And, of course, Maria Howard, CEO of the Alzheimer's Society of BC. For more information on today's topic and also a wealth of resource information, please visit the website alzheimerbc.org. Thanks for being part of this conversation. I'm Joanne Sutton with BoomerLife on CL 650.